Xana Kernodle's mom, Cara. She just joined us on the telephone with her thoughts about what has happened. Clearly, she is in the dark, almost as the rest of us are, about the details of this case, why the police think it's a targeted attack. She did say she believes the kids in the house were targeted as opposed to the house itself. She also said something very significant that none of us knew before, and that was that her daughter, Xana, likely had a lock on her bedroom door. Her mom believes that her bedroom door had a lock. And she also said that Xana's dad, Jeff, had just the week before this murder been at that house to fix a lock. Whether it was the lock on the bedroom door or an outside door to the house, that's unclear. But Xana's mom knows that Xana's dad had fixed a lock at that house just the week before. I want to bring back in Brian Enton, who has been on this case. Brian, see the photo on the screen right now. On the left-hand side is an image of an inside lock on a bedroom door in the basement, in the lower floors. And the person who took that picture was the former tenant who moved out in 2009. And he told Fox Digital that his bedroom door had a coded lock, and that's the photo of it. He said every bedroom in that house had a coded lock on it. But if we look on the right-hand side, that's a recent picture from social media of the second floor bedroom across from the kitchen. And you can see that does not appear to be, at least in this picture, a coded lock. So it's possible that in the last 3 years, some of the bedrooms may have actually changed. But it is quite a development to hear, definitely, that Xana was on the second floor, and that her mom believes she had that lock and her dad had worked on it a week prior, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the first time we've heard that, Ashleigh. So you know, I'm just trying to think this through here. A different lock, you know, is that a reason that the killer was possibly able to get into the room? Certainly possible, but just heartbreaking. I was listening to your whole interview so closely. Just heartbreaking to hear that mom speak for the first time. Very similar what she's saying to Kaylee's parents, who I spoke to a couple of hours ago. Just frustration that they don't have information, and frustration that you know that they say the police you know aren't keeping them updated as frequently.
So that is something that is new at this point. You know, obviously, Brian, tomorrow is the 3-week mark since those kids went out on a Saturday night, like all college kids do, and had a great time and got home at a pretty reasonable hour, you know, for college kids, 1:45 in the morning. And I'm sensing as well from the Gonsalves family, and I cannot imagine the pain that they are suffering, especially since they've been left in the dark. But they are starting to, their patience is giving way to frustration. It seemed pretty clear.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they, I mean, you heard what they said. I mean, they don't understand. Their main frustration tonight seemed that they just don't understand why some of the people are being cleared. They want to know what the alibis are. They're like, is it just a friend who said I saw them? I mean, they want to know what the crystal clear alibis are of why some of these people were cleared. Something else interesting, Ashleigh, because I heard Xana's mom bring it up, and you asked her about the stalker. I got some clarification tonight about that from Kaylee's family. They actually don't know of a specific stalker or that she was being stalked. But they did say something similar to what Xana's mom just told you, just that, you know, these were very, very pretty girls, and that it wouldn't surprise them if there was a stalker or people, you know, men following them around. But they did not know of a specific person.
Well, that's fascinating because the police said in a news conference when a reporter asked, where did you get the information about the stalker, you know, to start with? The police said it came up in interviews that they've been conducting. They didn't say who in the interviews told them that Kaylee had a stalker, but Kaylee's dad, Steve, has revealed that Kaylee told her dad, Steve, that she had a stalker. So I'm trying to figure out if it was Steve who brought that information to the police and they've not been able to corroborate it, or if someone else brought that information to the police and Steve could corroborate it. Is that still unclear?
So I think there was confusion along the way, is what her parents told me. I don't know if they were misquoted or how it actually came out, that the dad said there was a specific stalker, but he says that is not the case. There is not a specific person that they know of. It was more of just this general feel that she could have had a stalker.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.